With us now. Let's bring in Lillie Sorrell. She's the Vice President of Vocational Services at JVS Human Services. Lillie, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Happy Friday to you.
Yes, indeed. It's been a nice long week, but we're glad to get to Friday.
A nice long year. How are you doing and how is your team doing?
Our team is hanging in there as best as they can, still coming to work, still providing services out in the community, and with a smile on their face.
So for those not familiar, I know we've had some members of your team on the show before, but for those that may not be familiar with the JVS Human Services, give us a background on your organization.
Our organization has been around over 75 years, and we provide a variety of services for people that may be displaced from work and also may need help finding work once their career has ended in one particular area. We provide rehabilitation services through our rehab programs, and we also provide vocational services, which that's the program that I happen to be over for skill building, where we allow our participants to go out in the community and provide services for other human service agencies through building their skills with meaningful volunteer work. And we also have a program that's called supported employment, where our participants are able to work out in the community and make a good living wage at some of our sites that we have.
How important, you guys are pretty much covering the gamut, right?
Indeed, we're pretty well rounded.
So with that, tell us what services are used, like you're with the vocational side.
Yes.
What are some specifics? What are you looking for, and how do you train people for new jobs?
When we decide to place people in jobs, they typically are coming from our skill building program, where they have gone out previously and worked at volunteer sites where they're building their skills while they're working at the volunteer sites for some of the sites we may have contracts with, where they will get paid. And the variety, most of all of our sites, they start at minimum wage and more. And so they get an opportunity to work at volunteer sites to build on their skills for the particular site that they may want to work at, where they will get paid. And so besides us finding sites, locating sites, and getting contracts with site, it is about the participant choice as well. Most of our sites provide opportunities out in the community for work as janitorial. But then we have other sites where we do some packaging, and we also do dining room services as well.
So what's it been like in the middle of the pandemic? Is the need greater or less right now?
When the pandemic first hit, a lot of our sites were closed down out in the community for employment. When they started opening back up, we were able to get some participants to go back out and work at the sites. And what we have found is that many of our sites, our volunteer sites, some of them are still closed. They're slowly opening back up. But we also have state and federal sites where they never closed down. And many of our participants in our program, they were considered essential workers. So they continued to work. We had letters for them to be able to be out in the community, to come to our agency and get provided transportation to our employment sites. So because of the type of work that we provide, janitorial, we were even able to provide extra cleaning services because people wanted everybody to be safe that were having to come into their buildings and work. And so there was an increase in some of our janitorial services because of the pandemic that we were going through.
Lillie Sorrell with us here on the MegaCast. She's the Vice President of Vocational Services for JVS Human Services. How are your team members doing? Because are they exposed more? Because they are having to go out and they're on the front lines.
Well, our team members, that's our staff and also our participants. We had our senior vice president who worked along with her committee to develop a safe guide, work guide for people who come into the building and also go out of the building. So we have a lot of precautions that were put into place that was directed and guided by the CDC rules and regulations. So what we do is we supply masks for people going out or coming into the building. We also have people, they are safe distances. Our vans, we had to install what we call sneeze guards. We only have one person sitting on each seat in our vans because that's how we transport. And if we're able to also, our staff will wear a mask and also a shield if that makes them feel more comfortable. And we do safe distancing, social distancing. We do all of what's recommended by CDC. So our staff feels quite comfortable. They're still coming to work. We also do random testing with our staff as well. And because vaccinations now are available, it's not mandated, but we are encouraging staff to get their vaccination as well.
So Lillie, we've been hearing from so many companies that are saying they're struggling getting employees. Are you finding that with some of the partners that you have been working with?
Yes, we have from time to time, even before COVID, we have from time to time filled in where some of our contracted sites were not able to have their own employees come in and work. And so we have filled the void many times. And especially during the time with the pandemic, we have had our program participants go out and fill in the void and to help assist whatever work was needed for that particular contracted site.
Lillie Sorrell with us here on the MegaCast. She's the Vice President of Vocational Services for JVS Human Services. How do they get to become a participant in your program? Do they have to apply? Are there certain things you're looking for?
To become a participant in our program, first and foremost, you would have to be a part of the community mental health system. And we have programs in Detroit and in Southfield. And for Southfield, it would be through the Oakland Health Network for Southfield. And for Detroit, it would be through the Wayne County Health Network. And so you would have to be a part of the community mental health, whether it's Detroit or Southfield, Oakland or Wayne County, and you would do that by contacting the phone numbers for those particular counties to see if you qualify. The most qualifying factor is to have Medicaid. And then once they are qualified through the particular counties that they apply for, then they would be able to say whether or not they want to go to JVS or they want to go to another particular agency. And if they decide to come to JVS, then we have an intake process. And we would intake them into the program. They would have to supply a significant amount of paperwork that we usually will get from their supports coordinating agency. And then they would be allowed to be in the program if they fit the criteria and the eligibility for the particular program.
About how many people do you have in the program?
Right about now, due to COVID, for both programs, we have about 120 people in program.
That's quite a bit to manage, right?
It is, but we have supervisors that work within the program as well. They're called navigators, and they all have a caseload that they manage. And right about now, they're somewhere around 36 to 37 per person for each staff that they manage the caseload, along with managing the sites and managing our staff as well.
So Lillie, I know that you guys also help out the Salvation Army. How do you come together to build those partnerships?
We have a person, her name is Kim Towns. She's the community integration specialist, and she goes out in the community and look for other human service agencies that we're able to work with.
How important has it been throughout the pandemic to build those relationships and keep them going as well?
It's been very important to keep those relationships going, especially
We were speaking with Lillie Sorrell. She's the Vice President of Vocational Services over at JVS Human Services. A little technical glitch there, but we have you back, Lillie.
Yes, I'm back.
When I was working from home, that used to happen to me all the time because I had an external mic hooked up, and if I even blinked, the camera or the mic would go out. So we're used to it here. It's the new world, right?
Right. A world that eventually, hopefully, we will move out of.
We miss those in-person conversations.
We do.
Yes, we do. We'll be glad to get back into in person. I am working from home today, but I have been going in the building previously. But today I am working from home.
So, Lillie Sorrell,
my wonderful internet.
Okay, so you're a little choppy right there, Lillie. So we'll just go ahead. Before we say goodbye to you for the day, anything that maybe we didn't touch on that you want to share with our audience before we leave you today?
Yes, I just wanted to also share that the participants in the program, they really enjoy providing the services to the people that they pass out the meals to, for Meals on Wheels and Salvation Army. They spoke on how wonderful it makes them feel and how they feel like they're really a part of the community and they love being able to give back to the community. They think that's very important, and they have stated that it makes them feel very happy to be able to do something for someone else.
Well, we know that your organization has been helping members of our community here in the Detroit area since 1941. You're an important part in helping so many people. If someone is interested in trying to find out more about JVS Human Services, how can they do that?
They have two numbers they can call. They can call the Detroit number at 313-833-8100, or they can call Southfield. That number is 248-559-5000.
Great. Well, we so appreciate your time. Lillie Sorrell with us. She's the Vice President of Vocational Services for JVS Human Services. Their website also jvshumanservices.org. It's been so great having you on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, and I was glad to be with you all this morning.
Well, best of luck to you and your team, and we wish you continued success. And hopefully the next time we have you on, it could be in person.
Well, thank you so very much.